This is how we're going to vectorize our icons or images. We're in our t-shirt folder. Inside the folder with our period number on it. And we've created a folder called clip art with your name on it and whatever period number you're in. Notice how it says P4 here and P1 here. That just shows that I'm using different folders for different class periods in the same student folder. I'm going to double click on this item to open up this folder to show the various things that I've saved in here. If you click on this icon, notice how it says List View. This is what your files should be named like. Full, meaning full size, underscore, your first initial and last name, underscore, P1 or P2, P3, P4, P6, P7, depending on what class you're in, underscore dance, and if you want to make it further descriptor, in this case ballet. These various categories are from our Google Classroom. Under the heading T-shirt competition. They're numbered 1, Fine Art, 2, Multimedia Design, all the way down. If you would rather name it by the type of instrument it is, instead of being Multimedia Design or Music, this one is for music. If you want to call it saxophone, that's fine too, because then we'll know that it goes to music. In this case, it's jazz music, but if you want to just label it as saxophone, that's fine also. I'm going to download this file by holding the Control key down and clicking on it and selecting Download. Remember to have your page reduced in size like this. Now when you download something from Google Drive, it's going to go to your Downloads folder. So I'm going to click one time on the desktop. I'm going to hold the Command key down and hit the letter N for New. And then on the left-hand side, I'm going to click Downloads. There should only be a few files in here. Okay, my computer is set up to automatically load Photoshop. So I'm going to cancel this. So this is in your Downloads folder. I'm going to go back to my browser and open up this application called Resizer. This is what's going to allow us to auto-trace our images. Make the smoothness to the left. Instead of PDF, select AI, which stands for Adobe Illustrator. Choose your file by clicking this button. I'm already in the Downloads folder. Here's the file I want. I'm going to click on it once and select Choose. And then I'm going to click this blue button that says Trace. If you notice that thing that popped over here, that means it went to my Downloads folder, so I can click on the right-hand side. And again, my computer has it set up so that it automatically recognizes and opens up Adobe Illustrator. But if I click over here, notice how it says tracing here? I want the name to be the same as this JPEG, so I'm going to click one time on JPEG, on this JPEG file. I'm going to hit the Return key on my keyboard to highlight that text. I'm going to copy it by holding the Command key down and hitting the letter C. and then clicking one time on tracing.ai, again hitting the return key on my keyboard, and pasting by holding the command key down and hitting the letter V. Now both of these files are named the same thing, but one of them is a .ai, the other one's a .jpg. I'm going to hit return, and then you'll notice if I reduce this down, the .ai file is 58 KB, that stands for kilobyte. The Photoshop file is 76 KB. That's not a great deal of difference at this point, but that almost 20 kilobytes of storage space will make a big difference in a while. Before we do anything with this .ai file, I'm going to go back to my browser by holding the command key with my thumb and tapping the tab key to tab back over to my browser. I'm going to click on the clip art folder, enlarge my window slightly. I'm going to go one level back by clicking on T-shirt, and I'm going to create a new folder, and I'm going to call it Vector. Vector, V-E-C-T-O-R, underscore T for T-shirt, underscore first initial last name, and underscore the period number that you're in. I'm going to use P1 for this, and create. Everything that's a raster image or clip art image needs to go in here. So the first two files that we saved, I'm going to select them by clicking and dragging a rectangle around these two items, and I'm going to click and drag them in my clip art folder. Don't worry about this message. I still have access to this folder. Then I'm going to double click on the vector T. I'm going to reduce the window down. Go to my downloads folder in the Finder or the desktop, and make sure to select the one that says .ai and click and drag it into this window. Remember before you go, the last three things that you do every time you go is you select everything in the downloads folder and delete it by holding the command key down and hitting the delete key. Close this window. If there's anything on the desktop, select it all, Command Delete, and then Command Option Shift Delete empties the trash. And then please make sure to log out of both Google Drive and Google Classroom. I know that a lot of you aren't finished finding and downloading your images yet, but that's what we're going to be doing for the next couple of days. The people who are ahead of this already are going to be using this rapid Resizer program online to create vectors, to open up in Adobe Illustrator later, and to save those files for our composition.